Hi everyone. Now let's see the program on super constructed. So I already said about the super keyword in the previous video. So if it is super, this is a constructor, right? So it calls the default constructor of which class? Super class. Super class default constructor. Default constructor. So some keywords that if it is not appears, but implicitly the compiler will take those while executing the program. Okay. So this or super, whatever it takes, must be a first statement in the constructor. You have to remember that. So this is without parameters and with parameters also there. The constructor with parameters also there. So that is argument 1, argument 2. So this is I already explained in the previous video. Okay. This it calls a parameterized constructor of a superclass. Parameterized constructor. So whatever it is there, this without arguments and this with arguments, if you take the super without arguments and super with arguments, so whatever you have taken, so must be a first statement in the constructor. It's a first statement. First you have to write this statement, first statement in a constructor. Okay. So super, whatever the super this is there, this constructor implicitly present as a first statement in every constructor. Even though if you didn't mention it is implicitly present. So the compiler while it is working on it implicitly calls that implicitly present as a first statement in every constructor. Okay. So this is I already explained in the previous video. Just I'm recalling it. Now try to work on the programs. Okay. So let's work on the program. So here what I'm taking is, let's take class B extends the class A. So here I am taking the class A as constructor, A constructor. Okay. So I'm calling the A constructor. So by default, anyhow, while working on the B extends A means A constructor is calling, but implicitly I'm mentioning system dot out dot print ln. Okay. So A class. So this is A constructor closed and A class closed. Now coming to class B. In the class B extends the features of the A. It inherits the A features. So now here I am creating one more one constructor of B class. System dot out dot print ln. So this is B class. I'm printing the message B class. Okay. So even though if you didn't mention anything here, this is super implicitly present. Super implicitly present here. Here super implicitly present. That is super constructor. I'll explain it. Public static void new B. An object is created for a B class directly. Object reference nothing is because this is implicitly its constructor is there. So object is created. So what happening here means, let me tell you. So first B class is loaded and then A class is loaded. First B class loaded, B class loaded, okay, and then A class loaded because B extends the features, extends the A. Okay, so whenever it is there, here implicitly super constructor is present, super implicitly present. Even though you didn't mention, the compiler will think implicitly super constructed is there. Okay, then the main method. So next the main method, whatever the main method is there, main method calls the object created. So whatever the object is created, B object is created. So it goes to here. So implicitly super keyword is present. Implicitly super keyword is present. So what is means implicitly super constructor is executed. So what is a super constructor? Super constructor is going to allocate the memory for the A class. Okay. So first A class is printed and then B class is printed. This is what happening here. Implicitly super constructor is present. So whenever a B object is created, compiler will goes to here. Implicitly super constructor is called. Super constructor means what? Nothing but the A constructor. So A class is printed. Next, what is the message? B class is printed. So let's see whether the output is correct or not. Save the program. Java C sample.java. Okay, now run the program. Java B. Because main method is present in B, you have to use the B class. So first A class is printed, next B class is printed. Okay, so let me take one more program. Let's take, suppose here with arguments I am taking int x, with argument I am taking. So A class. Now so here try to take int x, so x value. Class B extends A. I'm taking parameterized constructor. So int y. So here what it is, they implicitly anyhow super is present. I'm not writing here. So here the y. Now coming to the main function. So here this is also parameterized. Whenever you use the parameterized constructor, so the object has to be created in the parameterized way. Let's the value will be the 10. So what will be the output? Can you guess what will be the output? Let's see. I think error will occur. Let's check whether the error will occur or not. See here. One second, anything is missed. So A class, okay, B, okay. So what is happening? So here in the 11th statement, 11th statement, constructor A in class A cannot be applied to given type because required int, no arguments. Actual and formal argument list differs. So here actual and formal arguments are differ. So int x and int y. Okay. So here the super keyword implicitly but without arguments. This is what y. So here what happening is, here it is super keyword is there. Implicitly it is present. But implicitly what it is there, the super keyword does not have arguments here. It doesn't have arguments. But here if you want to access, allocates a memory to this constructor, if you want to access this constructor, it here argument is there. So this is argument is not there in the super keyword. With inside the super keyword there is no argument. Implicitly compiler will take super without arguments, but here it is with arguments. So that why mismatch is there. It is a mismatch. So constructor A in class A cannot be applied to given type. Why? Because actual and formal argument list differs in length. So actual and formal arguments are differs in the length. Here one variable is there, here it is not there. That's why error, because no default constructor in class A class without arguments. So that's why error is coming. Suppose if it is like this, then it will take. If it is like this, then it will print. Okay. So if it is like this without arguments, then implicitly here the default keyword, default super keyword is there, super constructor is there. So this length, the formal arguments and actual arguments length will be the same. Okay, and here you have to keep within the brackets. So now try to execute it. So anyhow it is implicitly it is present, you no need to mention. Java C sample.java. Once again, super, I didn't save this program. Okay. Okay. So now Java B. So X and 10 is printed. So if we write here the arguments, it will not match because implicitly super keyword is present without arguments, without parameters. Is it clear? So I hope you understand what happening here, right? So we'll work on one more program in the next video. Thank you.